This is a perfect draft from the 12th pick in fantasy football. We built around Justin Jefferson from the 110. We built around Omarion Hampton at the 111. Shocker here, this guy also goes in the second round like Omarion Hampton. We are building around Derrick Henry at the 112. Our consensus 12th player in fantasy football. Reaching a little bit, but sometimes you just got to go get your guys.
Yes,
Sometimes
exactly.
you got to go get your guys. You have Derrick Henry as what, your RB5?
My RB5.
And I have him as my RB7. This is a guy who's basically penciled in for 1,400 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns on the ground if he's healthy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And a lot of people are going to have a lot to say, excuse me, in terms of us drafting these guys earlier than they should be drafted. As you just said, go get your guy. If you feel strongly about him, it really does not matter where you're drafting him because you're not getting him on a swing back. So, yeah, let's see how we start this draft.
Yeah, back-to-back picks here.
Do you want to go running back at the 112? Because I think as much as I hate to say that Omarion Hampton's going to get spammed for us over the course of these next few picks, that is who I would take.
I agree. For me at this spot, it's a two-man race, and I'm not looking at the wide receiver position. It's either Hampton or Chase Brown. I definitely feel stronger about Hampton, but I'm all in on Chase Brown as well. If this was a real draft, I'm pressing the Henry and Hampton button fast.
Me too. I am. And theoretically, yes, we would have drafted Hampton at 11 in this case, but I'm fine with us just taking him anyway. Hampton will be involved in every single one of our drafts this week. So
I mean, I feel like I'm supposed to say something along the lines of, yes, Hampton didn't show you a lot as a rookie, but he's an elite prospect. We think there's a real world where he could lead the league in touchdowns from the running back position in a top 5 offense. I think the line goes something like that.
It might be close to that, honestly. And we'll probably spam it at points throughout this draft. But I do love the Derrick Henry, Omarion Hampton stack in the way that I liked the Omarion Hampton, Kyron Williams stack that we did because I know what I'm getting out of Derrick Henry. There is the unknown about Omarion Hampton. There's a world where we finish with 2 top 5 running backs off the rip. So
right, 100%. So after we go Hampton, second round goes Achane, Barkley, London, McBride, Genty, Ken Walker, George Pickens, Chase Brown, Bowers, Allen, and A.J. Brown. Start of the third, it goes Nico, Olave, Neighbors, Higgins, Hall, Jeremiah Love, Josh Jacobs, Lamar, Kyron, Smitty, and T-Mac. Back to us with back-to-back picks.
This board really fell for us well.
It fell well for us. And, the obvious answer is go double receiver here.
But I love Javonte.
Javonte is intriguing
God, I
here,
love
bro.
Javonte.
Javonte, I think if we draft Javonte, we're locking down 3 top 12 running backs.
We might lock down 45 touchdowns across the 3 running backs if we take a Javonte Williams. I'm down for it. I'm always open to it. And I think this is a different build than anything we've gone for so far in these drafts. 3 running backs in a row, I kind of love it.
This is the last one of these. We definitely haven't done 3 running backs. So let's do it. Now we have to draft receiver. I know the pick is lad for you.
Yes.
I don't want to do the lad thing.
That's fine.
I just don't want to do the lad thing again.
We've done it on multiple occasions. You have a guy there that you are so high on, and I get it. I get why you would swing on the upside in this case.
Look,
I understand.
Right. That's part of it too. With this team build, yes, there's a little bit of unknown with Hampton. I feel pretty sure about Hampton and where he's going to finish. I think we're so safe at running back. Why not take the upside shot on Rashee Rice? This is a guy who, at his best, is a top 5 fantasy wide receiver. I have him as my wide receiver 6 on the year. Yeah, there's concerns about his character. There's concerns about his injury history. When he's on the field, all the guy does is produce. They didn't add a lot in Kansas City in terms of pass catchers to, take away from him. Yes, Cyrus Allen hype is real, but I'm not too worried about that in year 1. So, yeah, I'd go Rashee Rice here.
Yep, I get it. I understand why you would take Rashee there, and it just makes sense. He's so risky, but at the same time, with what we've built throughout the first 3 rounds, it makes sense for us to go and get Rashee. I understand. I will click these buttons for now. I actually kind of like that first team.
Team you're building? It's pretty solid.
A.J. Brown and Nico Collins at that 2-3 turn is pretty nasty. All right, so the board falls Scat, Lad, Mecca, Bucky, back-to-back Bucks. Jalen Waddle still going in that middle of the 4th round. Zay, Achane, Warren, Garrett, Swift, and Loveland. And then the 5th round starts with David Montgomery, Luther Burden, Travion, Devontae, run on quarterbacks, Burrow, Daniels, May. Weird order there. Terry, J-Mo, Quinshawn, and Mike Evans. And now we sit on the board with, I guess, a guy that we just want to take again.
We could take DJ Moore here, or I want to propose something different. We're good at running back.
Oh, we're great at running back.
Receiver with Rashee Rice is definitely a little bit questionable. Even if we draft DJ Moore, how safe is DJ Moore, right? Could do something completely different.
See where you're going
and
with this.
double up on onesie positions and go with Jalen Hurts, a quarterback who you're super high on, who you know has unlimited rushing touchdown upside, and pair him alongside a tight end that I'm super high on in Tucker Kraft.
I don't hate it at all because I don't feel great about a DJ Moore. It's just the rest of our draft is going to look like spamming wide receivers with
And that's
upside.
okay.
And that's fine. I'm cool with that.
I think with this team build, right, like we have the best running backs in this league.
Yes.
Let's potentially have the best quarterback and tight end duo in this league.
Yeah. No, I'm
besides teammate who has Lamar and Trey McBride. The second best quarterback tight end duo in this league.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't think anyone else could put together something even close to that. So I'm with it. I think Jalen Hurts top 5 upside at his position. And Tucker Kraft is a little bit scary with the injury, but regardless, the guy does have top 5 upside at his position as well. So yeah, I think this is very different, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's our last one. Like, let's get crazy. Why not?
I think it's very, very interesting. Let's do that.
But yeah, for sure. Going forward, we definitely have to just spam wide receivers, but there's a ton of them that we love, in the 7th, 8th, 9th round range. They keep calling Caleb Williams a steal in the new sleeper mock draft thing.
So this is not ideal for the board to fall this way because there's not a wide receiver that I feel great about. I guess Michael Wilson, but I'd have to go down the board a little bit, start thinking about a Jordan Addison. Wan'Dale Robinson feels like a decently safe pick because the guy has been tearing it up in training camp and been the number 1 target for Cam Ward. Obviously, we said Jaden Reed, but you know what? I'm willing to reach on him.
I'm willing to reach on both of our guys here. Like, I'm not really here for Michael Wilson. Mekhi Lemon, I said, is an avoid. Godwin and Pierce and Pittman, I'm really good off
out.
too.
Yep.
We have back-to-back picks here. Like, let's just get our guys. One of them being Jordan Addison, your guy, and then back-to-back go with Josh Downs, my guy.
May I propose a Stephon Diggs in a situation like this? Where it's desperate need for a wide receiver. You know Diggs is really good.
Yeah.
We're calling the unknown.
No, I'm with you. Fuck it, yeah. I'm so okay with Stephon Diggs being our wide receiver too, actually.
Because that's kind of where I stand with this in terms of we know we need a known commodity at this point.
The thing is, like,
no
I never I didn't actually stat out Diggs when he signed with the Commanders, so I don't know where exactly I have him placed. But like, the guy had 1,000 yards last year.
Everywhere he's gone, he has taken over as the leading receiving guy in terms of catching the ball. Like, I think Terry leads the team in yards, but I told you I think Diggs leads the team in targets and catches. So
I'm down for it. So let's go Diggs. They said we're a reach on the new sleeper, but that's okay. They don't know what we know.
Exactly.
And then, like, Josh Downs is definitely my guy, but given that we went with Diggs, I'm down for Jordan Addison here.
I'm cool with swinging for the fences.
A touchdown guy, right? Like, guy who could have super big weeks. So I'm down with that. We definitely, like, reached up the board, but, like, the 7th round is a weird spot where there's a ton of quarterbacks staring at you and the position players are just weak.
It's truly gross, honestly. I hate the 7th round overall. I'm just not a fan. Let's do this and let's do this. But I don't love the 7th round values overall. It's the 7th and 8th rounds are just gross.
Yeah.
Like, looking at the players that get drafted, it's just a really gross spot in your fantasy drafts. And now we end up with very little in terms of guys that I would have wanted to draft, as with picks prior to us, we get Josh Downs, Jaden Reed, and Wan'Dale Robinson all taken off the board. And those are guys that I'm sure we would have had our eyes on and probably would have drafted if they fell to us. So now we're in a spot, but fear not. I have the guy that will save the day for us. Romeo Doubs is a guy that I would love to have with this current team.
So I was going to say this. The top receiver on the board is Casey Concepcion, who you just said you're coming around to in redraft.
I'm open to it.
I'm down for that. And then we'd pair him alongside one of these two guys in Romeo. How do you feel about Romeo Doubs versus Deebo Samuel?
I think Romeo's the better of the two selections, in my personal opinion.
Do?
Yeah.
I think that's really close.
It is. It's close. I really do think Doubs is going to be heavily involved as the big slot in the Patriots offense. And we saw what Diggs was able to do with that. Granted, different situation now because A.J. Brown is there, but I think the floor for Romeo is 800 and like 6 or 7 touchdowns.
Would you rather go with both of those guys who feel like they have pretty safe floors or throw in KC as one of those picks?
I think you got to throw in the upside swing because of how lacking we are at wide receiver 2. So I think pairing a safe guy with a high high ceiling guy just makes so much sense for the build that we've gone for with this team.
Okay, and then I know you said you're coming around to KC, so I just want to see where your head's at. KC or Golden?
KC.
Easily?
Close.
Nothing's easy at this point. Yeah.
No, definitely not easily, but I think KC is the better of the two prospects, and that's really all I have at this point with the both of those guys. So,
all right, let's do it. Let's go KC and let's go Romeo Doubs.
I feel like we've built an interesting receiving core that someone's going to pop.
I feel like we knew it off the rip when we took Javonte Williams. Like, we were going to have a weak receiving core.
But all it takes is for one of these guys to pop. That's the thing. So
I feel really good about having Diggs.
Me too.
I feel really good about having Diggs. So, I'm not worried about him in the slightest.
That's why when I was looking down the board, I'm like, this team makes all the sense in the world for a Stephon Diggs to be a reach. Mm-hmm. It just makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
So,
and I think coming back to us here in the 11th round, I think we keep hammering down wide receiver. A guy we drafted in the 110 video just balled out in the first quarter of his preseason game last night, running with the ones. It's Deshaun Stribling.
I'm with you 100%. I think it makes too much sense to take him at this point. We're really building the all upside room with some of these guys. So I'd say we could probably close this with a high upside swing at running back too this turn here. I'm not opposed to a Jonah Coleman here.
I'm with you. I think we did enough in the receiver room that we could take another upside shot on a running back. We need an RB4 for show. Oh.
What's up, Mom?
And then with our last pick, again, I know we try to not repeat things and change things up, and I think we did a good job of changing things up here. We mentioned it in the Tight Ends We Love video that you guys have seen by this point. If you haven't, go check that out. If you draft Tucker Kraft with the potential that he gets off to a slow start in the first few weeks, I like to pair him up with another tight end, the tight end that you love, in Juwan Johnson. Yeah, I think that's an easy pick.
I like that our drafts here hammered home the points that we've made throughout the week. And I think that's very consistent on our part. And I think Juwan Johnson is probably going to finish as a top 10 tight end in fantasy football this year. And you are literally getting him as your Mr. Irrelevant. We're not drafting him at all.
Yeah, you really convinced me on Juwan Johnson. Like, I'm kind of at the point of I don't care what tight end I draft first. I'm kind of just going to try and not leave every draft without Juwan Johnson if possible.
He could be a great trade piece if he's really balling out. Like, I'm in. I'm not opposed to waiting so late in my drafts and ending with a Juwan Johnson because you're getting this guy who's already done it. Like, it's not like he's an unproven, you're taking a flyer on a guy. He's already done it. He had close to 900 receiving yards last year. So, like I said, I expect that to change. Maybe there's not enough time, but Juwan Johnson's the obvious pick here.
Yep. So we end our series of drafting from every single spot in the draft, the 112. We built around Derrick Henry. Our team, we have Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Henry and Hampton as our two running backs, Rashee Rice and Stephon Diggs as our two receivers. Definitely weak there, but Tucker Kraft at tight end. Our first flex is Javonte Williams, so three super strong running backs. Jordan Addison slots in as our final starter. And then off the bench, we have KC, Romeo Dobbs, Stribby, Jonah Coleman, and Jawan Johnson. I like this team.
I kind of like the squad. It's different.
Yeah, I like that we took like a different approach just to see how it goes. Like, I feel like there is a world, like this showed me that there is a world where you could start your draft with 3 running backs and still build a pretty great team.
Yeah, and still kind of manage. Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. I think things change a bit if a Mike Evans fell to us in that 5th round.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day with this team, like we're, basically penciling in 45 points at the minimum from our 3 running backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, feel super safe with those guys. So, I think we did a good job of drafting for upside around them, especially with a guy like Rashee Rice.
Completely agree.
So, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out our full series. Maybe I'll put these in like a playlist for you guys to make it a little bit easier. But we did the perfect draft from every single draft position 1 through 12. Also, this week we dropped our tight ends that we love to draft, tight ends that you should avoid. Did that for every position. Check all of those out. Next week, don't know what the content is going to be, but you guys will still be getting a video Monday through Friday. Be on the lookout for those. Then football starts, and you guys will be getting a weekly start sits video, a waiver wire video at the end of the week, or beginning of the week, I guess you could say. I don't know. Weeks are weird. And then also every other week, a trade video. So lots of fantasy football content, even going into the season. Be on the lookout for that. And with that,
BallGame.